Alpha Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, cross over midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Greetings everyone, greetings and welcome to Simair Flyer. I am Dane Simair. It's been a while since I did a flight, did a video, but today I thought, or tonight I should say, on the eve of Mother's Day, I thought I should do a flight. We're going to fly today from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Greenwood, Nova Scotia. I'll show you on the map where we are and what we're going to be doing. Aircraft has been fully checked, and as you can see, the engines are running. We are really ready to go. We just need to pick up our IFR clearance. We're going to be using air traffic control using SayIntentions. Bring that over here for you to see. We're going to be using SayIntentions today, and because it's an IFR flight. Basically, let me show you what the weather is. Let me go over to the Navigraph map. Okay, so first you can see where we are at Stanfield International Airport in Halifax. We're going to be using runway 32 for departure. At least that's what the last time I checked the weather, 32 was a favored runway. We want to pick up this VOR, the Halifax VOR. So we'll probably do a right crosswind turnout and pick up this VOR on a heading of approximately 296 for 55 nautical miles. And that'll get us into the initial fix for Greenwood, because we'll be coming in here and we'll pick up the initial fix right here at let's see, the Greenwood. Yeah, we're using runway. What runway are we using here? We're using runway 26, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So, let me pick that up and fly that into on the ILS. So that's the plan. Now let's just check the weather. You can see there's some clouds, there's some icing going on here. All this blue is icing. The pink is clouds. All the pink represents clouds. So let's just see. Let's see what Navigraph has to say for the weather. Okay, so the weather out of Stanfield International, which is in Halifax, is overcast, 600-foot cloud base. So we're going to be right into the clouds the minute we take off. Winds are 300 at 19, gusts to 24. Ooh boy, that's a pretty severe wind. So I hope you guys have your seat belts buckled up and your sick bags in hand. Wind temperature is 6 degrees, dew point is 6. So we're going to have a pretty severe flight taking off out of Halifax. Now let's see what Greenwood weather looks like. Greenwood weather is winds 260 at 13, gusts to 19, also very heavy. Overcast with an 800-foot base. That's pretty severe. Temperature 8, 2.7, so we probably will have icing. We could have icing. Although 8 degrees, we may not. We'll see. Okay, so that's going to be a bit of a bumpy flight, I would imagine. Okay, so let's get started. Let's pick up our... Oh, just a minute. I need to get the barometric pressure. We could get that from the ATC right here.
0532. Advise on initial contact. You have information Foxtrot.
Information Foxtrot.
Halifax /
19 gust to
Stanfield
24.
International Airport. Information Foxtrot. 0500 Zulu. Wind 315 at 19 or gusting 24.
is the altimeter.
Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Solid overcast at 600 feet. Temperature 6.
Alright, let's call
2.6.
clearance and pick up our
Altimeter
IFR.
2962. Density
Sorry, I forgot to switch the view. So, okay, I'll just go over that again with you. So this is what we were just listening to.
feet. Temperature 6.
The ATC.
2.6.
So we
Altimeter
have Foxtrot
2962.
and
Density
2962.
altitude
So
minus
let's now go to
100
clearance
feet. Arriving and departing run.
and pick up our clearance, our IFR clearance. Halifax clearance, Baron, November 624 Delta Whiskey, picking up my IFR to Greenwood.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by. November 624 Delta Whiskey, Halifax clearance, information golf is current. Clear to Greenwood. After departure, fly radar vectors Halifax, then as filed. Departure runway 32, initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 118.7, squawk 2715.
Wow, he sure speaks fast. So the squawk is 2715. Let's put that in right now. So we've squawked it. Alright, what did he say? Gulf is current, cleared to Greenwood. After departure, fly radar vectors CYHZ, then as filed. Cleared to Greenwood. After departure, fly radar vector Yankee Hotel Zulu, then as filed. Departure, runway 32. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 118.7, squawk 2715.
Four Delta Whiskey, read back correct. Ground is on 121.9, safe flight, sir.
.9. Yes, I will need to have a safe flight because the weather is not so great. I don't know if he'd understand that. Halifax ground, November 624 Delta Whiskey is ready to taxi to runway 32.
November 624 Delta Whiskey Halifax ground, taxi to runway 32 via Alpha Delta, cross runway 23, then Kilo. Contact tower on 118.4 when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 32 via Alpha Delta, cross runway 23, then Kilo. Contact tower 118.4 when ready for departure. Alright, I'll just show you on the map where we're going. So he's told us to taxi to 32, which is our active departure. He wants us to taxi along Alpha, which is this taxiway here. We're going to taxi Alpha, and then we're taxiing Delta. This is Delta here, and then he has given us clearance to cross runway 23, which is this runway here, and then he told us to continue on Kilo, which takes us right out to here. So without any further ado, let's get the ship rolling. Buckle up your seat belts and keep those brown bags handy. Alright, we are ready to go. Taxi lights are on, nav lights are on. Okay, so this would be... So we're basically on Alpha now. And now we are approaching Delta. So this is now Delta. And he has told us that we can cross runway 23, which is this runway right here. So, but we should look right and we should look left, just to be sure. Yeah, we're good. Cross runway 23. Alright, we've crossed runway 23. Now we're now on Kilo. Taxiway Kilo. So again, let's brief the takeoff. We're going to take off on runway 32. If successful, we will make a right 45-degree crosswind exit to pick up the 296 radial of the VOR. So there's a turn in Kilo here. There looks like there's some aircraft either coming in or not too far from the airport. That's intersection Mike, which we don't want. We're going right to the end of Kilo. So our altitude we're flying at today is 6,000 feet. So the winds are going to be...
4 Delta Whiskey, contact tower on 118.4, safe flight.
118.4, thanks for the safe flight. Okay, we're going to stop at the hold short right here. Okay. Halifax Tower, November 624 Delta Whiskey, holding short runway 32, ready to roll.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Halifax Tower, runway 32, wind 315 at 19er, gusting 24. Cleared for takeoff.
315, 19, gusting 24, cleared for takeoff for Delta Whiskey. Nothing coming in. Look at that windsock. Wow. Pretty stiff breeze. Okay, landing lights are on, strobe lights are on. I'm gonna leave the taxi lights on as well. Let's just get lined up here. Alright, so this is the 296 radial we want to pick up. So we obviously have to turn to the right to pick it up. So we'll probably turn like that. Now that doesn't make sense. There's an aircraft coming in when we've been given permission to be on the runway. Incorrect. Alright. Throttles forward. Airspeed is alive. 50 knots. 60 knots. 80 knots. 90 knots. Rotate. Well, the takeoff wasn't too bad. Wasn't too gusty. We're just going to fly this runway heading for a little bit. We'll just keep the runway heading. Okay, gears coming up. Flaps are up. I'm going to make a right turn out now to intersect, to pick up that radial. 296 radial.
4 Delta Whiskey, contact departure on 118.7.
118.7. Halifax departure, November 624 Delta Whiskey is with you at 2,700. Oh, we're getting into some blue sky.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Halifax departure, radar contact, turn right heading 070, vectors to Halifax, then O navigation.
I'm not going to turn right to vectors to Halifax. I'm not going back into Halifax. I'm heading out on 296. Turning left to 296 to pick up the CYHZ VOR.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Halifax departure, climb 6,000.
6,000. Okay, let's get the autopilot set up. Autopilot's on, heading.
4 Delta Whiskey, I'll start your descent in about 20 minutes. If you'd like to descend now, just say the word. Expect the ILS X-ray runway 26 approach into Greenwood.
Expect ILS X runway 26 approach into Greenwood. Alright, we have intercepted the radio. We are level at 6,000. Actually, we've overshot the radial a little bit. Oh, we're right on top. That's not too bad. Oh, that window opened. Alright, let's take it off of heading mode and put it onto nav mode so it can follow the VOR out. So we'll turn off heading and we'll turn on nav. Now let's put in the ILS frequency. I'll show you that in a minute. So we need this ILS, and it's going to be 110.7. So let's put that into our standby frequency, which is going to be right up here. .7. So it's in the standby. Okay, we can reduce power. Bring our RPMs down to 2400 and our manifold pressure. Can come down to 2400 as well. Okay, what's the temperature outside? Temperature outside is about 2 degrees Celsius. So I think what I'll do, there's quite a bit of moisture-laden clouds. I think I'll turn the pitot heat on. Okay, pitot heat is on. And it wouldn't hurt to... Well, let's do a prop sync while we're here. We'll sync the props. We'll turn the heater on and the blower on. Okay, everything looks good there. We've got full fuel. Just move this yoke out of the way for a minute. Turn the panel lighting on a little bit more. Okay, pitot heat is on. Let's turn the icing Fuel vent icing on, stall worn heat on, and windshield icing, and the prop icing. Prop heater on. And cowl flaps are open. We should, let's turn these lights on. And let's close the cowl flaps. Cowl flaps are closed. And we could increase our manifold pressure. Get a little speed, more speed going. And we'll put our RPMs up to 2,500. Because we're kind of in a hurry to get to Greenwood. So RPMs are at 2,500 and manifold pressure. I'm going to put that up to 3,500. Now let's see if this has been set up for the ILS. It has not. Let's first put in fact, it wasn't even set up for the VOR. Let's just put the VOR in, which is CYHZ. All right. And activate the leg to Greenwood. Now let's look at the approach, load a procedure. We're going to use 26X transition vectors. And we have 14 minutes to go, 38 nautical miles. Look at the winds. We have a headwind of 38 knots. Wow, that's incredible. Which is giving us a ground speed of 162, and our indicated airspeed is 180. All good in the back. Now look at that cloud right there. Look at the build up there. Oh yeah, I picked a good altitude because we're in between a couple cloud layers. We've got a bank of clouds right here though that looks like we're going to be heading right into. The props are synced perfectly. When the props are not synced, this little wheel spins. Let's just check the cylinder head temperatures are all good. temperature is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's pretty cold. That is pretty cold. We need to get some heat in the cabin. Okay, where is the heater for the cabin? That's for oxygen. Not worried about oxygen. Where is the heater for the cabin? It should be right down here. Pilot air, that's oxygen. Cabin heat. Let's pull that out. Defrosters are on. Shortly we should see this blue low temperature light go up to high, hopefully. We've got the heat coming in. Let's see what we've got here. Cabin heat increase.
4 Delta Whiskey, proceed direct October. Descend altitude 2600, altimeter 29er.68 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach.
Okay, let's just see what he's talking about. Descend altitude 2,600, altimeter 2968, until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach. So he wants us to go down to 2,600. Alright, so we've dialed in 2,600. Take the altitude off and let's start heading down. Vertical speed is going down. We're right in the bank of clouds. Aircraft behind me. And you can notice the cold air cabin is now off. Altimeter was 2968. Let's get that dialed in. Oh boy, look at this cloud. Oh yeah. Thank goodness for IFR flights. Yeah, we're going right through it. Well, we've got all the caution set. Let's lower our speed a bit now. We'll come down a little faster. We'll come down at 2,000 feet per minute. Oh, that's cold air coming in. put this now on heading hold and turn our ILS on. Swap that over. And it's going to be 110.7, which it is. And we're coming in on a heading of 261. Okay, let's turn to a heading of 261. We are at 2,600 where he wanted us to be. Okay, we're going to take the prop sinks off. And we're going to open the cowl flaps for landing. Alright, looks like we're lined up with the ILS. Let's turn the approach on, or nav on. We are indicated airspeed of 145, ground speed of 139. Winds are from our 3 o'clock at 31 knots. Okay, we've activated vectors to final. Let's take the heading back on. We need to pick up this CDI. We're 4 minutes to the initial approach fix, which is called Optec. I'll show you on little nav map. So there we are, we're coming in to pick up the CDI 261. Our initial approach fix is Optec. Okay, we picked up the CDI. I've turned on the approach, the autopilot to approach, and that should help control our descent. Okay, at this point I'm going to lower the landing gear. Landing gear is down and 1 notch of flaps. Let's go over our instruments. It all looks good. I'm gonna go with full prop, full RPM. Everything's in the green. Everything's good there. We are on the localizer. We're still low. That's because we're far out. Look at this terrible weather. Wow. Bravo.
4 Delta Whiskey, contact Greenwood Tower on 119.5.
119.5, 4 Delta Whiskey. Greenwood Tower, November 624 Delta Whiskey is captured the ILS runway 26. Our flat slope is coming in.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Greenwood Tower, roger.
Let's see what the weather is at Greenwood right now.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Greenwood Tower, wind 275 at 10, gusting 18. Runway 26, cleared to land.
Winds 275 at 10, gusting 18, runway 26, cleared to land. I'll show you how we're doing on the map. See, we're not at the initial fix yet, which is optic. Slowly approaching it. And we'll be coming into runway 26. So when we do land on 26, we're going to want to turn off maybe on this taxiway here. Okay, we are at optic, and we can see land below us, so we're out of that heavy cloud. Reduce our speed. I'm going to put in a second notch of flaps. Pretty hard to see the runway. I think that's it right there. Gotta be it. That's the asphalt. And then we're going to take the second, hopefully the second exit taxi over to the parking over here. We are on localizer, and we are on the glide slope. Buckle up your seatbelts, we're coming in. Okay, landing lights are on, strobe lights are on, everything's looking good. At some point here, I'm going to kick auto out of the cockpit and fly it in manually. Okay, let's turn off the autopilot. I have control. Third notch of flaps has been put down. Oh boy, when you're flying it manually in this gust, you can really feel the movement of the aircraft. Alright, let's see if we can do a soft landing. 100 knots. Flare, 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 flare. There we are. Keep it on the center line. My passengers are applauding me.
624 Delta Whiskey, welcome to Greenwood. Contact ground on 133.75.
133.75. Thank you for your service. Let me just get past the whole short here, and we'll have a look at the taxi chart to see where we're going. Okay, let's stop here. Let's clean up the airplane. Flaps coming up. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are off. Taxi lights are on. Okay, so now let's call ground. Greenwood ground, November 624 Delta Whiskey, clear of runway 26. Request taxi to general aviation parking.
Delta Whiskey, taxi to general aviation parking via Bravo Alpha Echo. Good day.
GA parking via Bravo Alpha Echo. Have a great day. Alright, so here we are here. We've cleared runway 26. He wants us to go via Bravo Alpha and then Echo. So I guess the parking is over here on the left. All right, so let's get a move on. Okay. Okay, we're going to turn on Alpha. So I guess the GA parking is over here. So we're going to take Alpha all the way over. Well, I'd say this was a pretty successful IFR flight. Just show you on the Navigraph map where we are. So we are making our way along Alpha, and then we're going to come down to Echo and park in here. So once again, I want to thank you for flying with Simir Flyer, Dane Simir. I guess it's the next exit. I guess, sorry it's been so long in between flights, but life keeps getting in my way. But I'm going to try and do these more often. Let's see, we need to turn, yeah, we can turn down here. This is down on Echo. And we'll just park down here by this, over to the left of this twin engine here. Oh, that's a pretty fancy looking airplane. Air Antilles, it's going to the Caribbean. Pretty nice. Alright, let's make a right turn right about now. That looks pretty good to me. Parking brakes are on. Mixture is leaned. Flaps are back. Throttles are back. Taxi lights off, nav lights off, beacon light off, avionics off, magnetos off, alternator off, and the battery is now off. Like I said, thanks for flying Simir Flyer, Dane Simir. We'll catch you the next time.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Blue is here, Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.